Hello everyone, I'm Cristian Negulescu and welcome to another episode of UiPath in 5 minutes. Today we'll talk about getting data from a queue. So on our orchestrator, we'll have here, I will go and create a queue. So I will create a queue that the name of the queue will be 5Q because it's for 5 minutes movie, 5 minutes movie. Let's put it here with 5 movie. Okay, so I create this queue. Then I have to know that my robot is connected to the orchestrator. So you have to see the green light here. Yeah, so I have the green light here to show that it's connected to orchestrator, and then we'll go to UiPath Studio and see how we'll put data. So in UiPath Studio, first we'll put the data inside of the queue. So if you write here queue, you will have a lot of function inside of the UiPath Studio to work with the queue. I will show you some basic function that allow you to add data, to get the data from the queue and get the transaction from the queue. So first, to be able to add data, let's say that I will take the data from this Excel and put the data on the queue. So I have this Excel and we'll take the data from this Excel and we'll add the data on the queue. To be able to add the data on the queue, basically I have the Excel, I will just generate a data table. So I'll read the Excel and read that sheet and generate the data table DT. And after I generate this data table, I will say write this data table to the Q5. Yeah, so F5Q. This is the name of my queue. Okay, so if I hit run, here we'll go and you will see that the system will put the data inside of the queue. Done. So the data now it's inside of the queue. Let's go to the here on the queue and let's see view transaction. Yeah, so here are the transactions, and let's see if I can see the details. So you can see here the car, the color, every data that I have inside of the field of the Excel. It's already on the queue. Let's see how we read the data from the queue. So first, if I want to get data queue items, so I want to know how many items I have on the queue, I will use get queue items. And I will put the name of the queue, and this will return me a list of the items. Now, I will write on the screen how many items I have on the queue. For this, I will say count, and this will give me the count. If I want to print some details of the items, I will make a for each on the items. And here on the type of argument, I have to put UiPath core queue item. This is the type of the item. And in this type of the item, you will see that you have priority, you have status, you have a lot of properties of the item. If I want to get the data from an item, I have to say get transaction. Yeah. So if I have in the queue more than one item, I will say get transaction item. And on a transaction item, this will return a transaction element. Yeah, and a queue item element. And this, if you want to access the fields, I have to say specific content, and I have the make, the model. Remember the fields that I have on the Excel. Yeah, the name of the field, because he had in the queue exactly the name of the fields that I have on the Excel. So let's run this one and let's see what is able to read. So it's able to read the number of items that I have on the queue, and he will get the first transaction because I have one of this with the first transaction. So I have 16 items on the queue. The property of the item it's normal. The priority it's normal, and the status is new because it's a new item. And I say break here because if I let it, he will show me all the 16. And the first item, it was Honda Civic red price and kilometers. Yeah. So basically, it's a queue, and he starts from here. Now, if I want to read all the data from the queue, I will make a loop here. So I will have a get transaction. I will make a do while loop, and I have the get transaction. This will return me each transaction. I will check if the transaction is different from nothing. Yeah. And if it's not null, I will print all the data from the transaction. So if I want all the data, I will say make, model, color, kilometers, and price. Yeah. And to be able to know when it's finished, when I get the last transaction, I will put a condition on this do while until the condition is to the item, the output item to not be null. Yeah. So when this is null, this will finish. So let's run this one, and normally he will print all the data from the queue. And let's see here, and I have all the data from my queue, all the data here with my queue. Okay, good. So if we go now in the queue and we'll refresh, you see that the status is on progress because I read that data, but I don't change the data from transaction. So that's the basic stuff that you have to do with the queue. As usual, if you like my movies, please subscribe to my channel and also comment to my movies and tell me what else you want to see on my movies. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.